The National Archaeological Museum. Ancient Greece set the tone for all Western art that followed. At the National Archaeological Museum, you can trace the evolution of Greek art from its roots to the flowering of the Golden Age and beyond. Hi, I'm Rick Steves. Thanks for joining me on this walk through what is far and away the top ancient Greek art collection anywhere. Cycladic Figurines. These small marble statuettes of females, most with their arms folded, are older than the Egyptian pyramids. No one knows for sure what their purpose was. Room 4 displays artifacts found in the ruins of the ancient fortress city of Mycenae, 80 miles west of Athens. You'll see finely decorated swords, daggers, body armor, and jewelry. These were all found buried alongside bodies in Mycenaean graves. They were excavated from the coffins of 19 bodies found in a circular tomb, a cemetery archaeologists call Grave Circle A. The various objects all around you make up 30 pounds of gold. Their intricately carved hammered detail points to the sophistication of this early culture. The Mycenaeans ruled southern Greece for 400 years, from about 1600 to 1200 BC. That's 1,000 years before the Greek Golden Age. Find the Mask of Agamemnon. The mask is one of the most remarkable objects unearthed at Mycenae. The mask is made of gold and shows a man's bearded face. It was meant as a funeral mask, to be tied over the face of one of the dead men buried at Mycenae. The warrior Krater. A crater is a two-handled vase. Look closely at the detail. A woman at the far left waves goodbye to a line of warriors. They're heading off to war with their fancy armor and duffel bags hanging from their spears. This provided the world with its first glimpse of a Mycenaean soldier. It's also a timeless scene with its yellow ribbon sentiment echoing across the centuries to this day. The Vapheio Cups from around 1600 BC are exquisitely detailed. They show the artistic influence of the Minoans, the sophisticated and peace-loving Greeks who preceded the Mycenaeans. It shows a charging bull, sending a guy head over heels. Bull jumping was a popular Minoan sport. Now look at the other cup, number 1759. You'll see a bull and a cow making eyes at each other. Meanwhile, the hind leg of another bull gets tied up by one good-looking cowboy. These realistic and joyous scenes are the product of the two very different civilizations that made 15th century BC Greece the wonder of Europe, the Mycenaeans of the mainland and the Minoans of Crete. The Dipylon Vase, labeled Monumental Attic Grave Amphora. This ochre and black vase, nearly 4 feet tall, is painted with a funeral scene. In the center, a dead man lies on a funeral bier, flanked by a line of mourners who pull their hair in grief. It's far from realistic. The people have triangular torsos, square arms, and circular heads, all basic geometric shapes. Early Greek statues, Kouros and Kouros. Rooms 7 to 14 feature life-size and larger-than-life statues of clothed young women called Kouros and naked young men called Kouros. They date from between the years 700 and 500 BC. As we walk through these rooms, we'll see how, as Greek culture developed, the statues became increasingly natural and realistic. Here in Room 7, the female statue number 1 is one of the oldest examples, dating from around 650 BC. In Room 8, your eyes go right to a very nice pair of knees that belong to a statue of a naked young man. The Kouros from Sunion, Exhibit 2720, was sculpted around 600 BC. It has many of the typical features from the Archaic period between 800 and 500 BC. While these statues are white today, they were originally painted in vivid, lifelike colors. Kouros statues were everywhere, presented as gifts to a god at a temple or to honor the dead in a cemetery. This one was dedicated to Poseidon, and it stood at the entrance to the temple at Sunion, south of Athens. As a funeral figure, a Kouros represented the deceased in the prime of his youth and happiness, forever young. Where the male Kouros was either life-size or larger than life and naked, emphasizing masculine power, a female Kori was often slightly smaller than life and modestly clothed, capturing feminine grace. This petite Kori, from around 550 BC, stands with feet together, wearing a pleated robe belted at the waist. Her hair is braided and held in place with a wreath, and she wears a necklace. Her right hand tugs at her dress, indicating motion, a nice trick if the artist lacked the skill to actually show motion. Her left hand holds a flower. Like most ancient statues, she was painted in lifelike colors, including her skin. Her dress was red. You can still see traces of the paint, adorned with flower designs. Browse around room 11. All the statues in this room have similar archaic features. That distinct archaic smile, the graceful avatar-like builds, and rigid braided hairdos. These once decorated the tombs of hero athletes, perhaps famous Olympians.